The painting we're looking at is The Death of Socrates, completed in 1787 by Jacques-Louis David. At first glance, the scene seems simple, but your eye is immediately drawn to the center. A man sits upright on a bed, calmly reaching for a cup, while the people around him react with grief and panic. Some cover their faces, others lean toward him, almost trying to stop what's about to happen. Everyone in the room is overwhelmed, except the man about to die. He looks calm, composed, almost as if he's explaining something rather than facing execution. And that contrast is what makes this painting so powerful. It captures not just a death, but a decision. A moment where belief matters more than survival. Many people admired Socrates, especially younger Athenians who were drawn to his way of thinking. They saw him as someone who challenged authority and encouraged independent thought, but others saw him as dangerous. To them, Socrates wasn't inspiring curiosity, he was undermining tradition and weakening respect for established beliefs. Athens had recently gone through political instability, and tension in the city was high. In that environment, someone constantly questioning authority could easily be viewed as a threat. Eventually, Socrates was brought to trial. He was accused of corrupting the youth and not respecting the gods of the city. The jury found him guilty and sentenced him to death. The method was drinking hemlock, a poisonous plant. What makes the story more powerful is that Socrates didn't actually have to die. His friends arranged a plan for him to escape. They were ready to help him leave Athens and live in exile somewhere else. He could have avoided the execution entirely, but Socrates refused. He believed that escaping would contradict everything he had taught about justice and responsibility. If he broke the law to save himself, he felt he would be undermining the very principles he had spent his life defending. To him, living without integrity wasn't worth it, so he chose to stay. He chose to accept the sentence, and he chose to drink the poison. More than 2,000 years later, this story inspired Jacques-Louis David. David was a leading painter of the Neoclassical movement, a style that looked back to ancient Greece and Rome for inspiration. Neoclassical art emphasized clarity, discipline, and moral strength. It rejected overly decorative styles and instead focused on serious themes and strong ideas. David believed art should do more than decorate a wall. He believed it should teach something, that it should present examples of courage, sacrifice, and principle. When he came across the story of Socrates, he saw the perfect subject, a man choosing his beliefs over his own life. Before we move on, a quick thank you to this video's sponsor, Galleria 48. If you enjoy artwork like The Death of Socrates, Galleria 48 is an online store that offers high-quality prints and carefully curated pieces featuring some of the most iconic paintings in history. These aren't generic, mass-produced posters. They focus on pieces that actually look good on a wall. So whether you want to hang a painting like this, or start a small art-inspired gallery at home, it's a great place to begin. They're currently running a deal where if you buy 3 prints, you get the 4th one free. You can check the link in the description and use code WhatPaintingsSay for 10% off your order. Using that code also helps support the channel and lets me keep making videos like this. Now back to the video. When Jacques-Louis David painted this scene in 1787, France was on the edge of a major political change. People were questioning authority, debating justice, and discussing the role of government. The monarchy was losing support, and ideas about democracy and civic duty were spreading quickly. Even though the painting shows an event from ancient Greece, it also reflects the atmosphere of David's own time. Socrates became more than just a historical figure, he became a symbol. A symbol of someone who stands by his principles, even when the consequences are severe. For viewers in France, this message felt immediate and relevant. David chose to paint the exact moment before Socrates drinks the poison. This is important. He doesn't show the aftermath or the tragedy itself. Instead, he focuses on the decision. Socrates sits upright, calm and composed. One hand reaches toward the cup. The other points upward, as if he's still explaining something. Even at the edge of death, he appears to be teaching. The people around him react very differently. They show grief, fear, and desperation. One man grabs Socrates' leg, trying to hold him back. Another turns away, unable to watch. The jailer holding the cup looks distressed, as if he regrets what he has to do. Some figures collapse into each other, overwhelmed by emotion. This contrast is central to the painting. Socrates represents calm reasoning and conviction. Everyone else represents human fear and emotion. The entire scene is built around this difference. The lighting reinforces this idea. Socrates is the brightest figure in the room. Light falls directly on him, making him stand out immediately. The surrounding figures are darker, which naturally pulls your attention to the center. It visually separates him from the chaos around him and emphasizes his calmness and control. At the foot of the bed sits Plato, Socrates' student. Interestingly, Plato wasn't actually present at Socrates' death, and he would have been much younger at the time, but David paints him older and removed from the emotional group. He sits quietly looking down, deep in thought. This suggests reflection, almost like he's remembering the moment. It also symbolizes how Socrates' ideas would live on through Plato's writings. David also idealizes Socrates' appearance. Historically, Socrates was around 70 years old and likely more fragile. In the painting, he appears strong, upright, and physically composed. This wasn't meant to be historically accurate. David wasn't trying to create a documentary. Instead, he shaped the scene to emphasize moral courage and strength. Socrates becomes less of an individual and more of an ideal, a visual representation of conviction. The composition of the painting carefully guides your eye. The gestures of the figures, the lines of the architecture, and the direction of the light all lead towards Socrates. Almost every movement points back to him. Even the outstretched arms of the people around him create visual lines that bring your attention to the center. One of the most important details is the space between Socrates' hand and the cup. David places this moment right at the center of the painting. It's a small gap, but it holds the entire narrative. The decision has already been made, but the action hasn't happened yet. That pause creates tension. The arrangement of the figures also helps tell the story. On one side, the bodies are curved and collapsing into each other, showing grief and emotional weight. On the other, Socrates sits upright, with clear, defined posture. The contrast between stability and instability reinforces the idea of reason versus emotion. The background is intentionally simple. The flat stone wall removes distractions and keeps focus on the figures. David avoids unnecessary detail, so the viewer concentrates on the human interaction and the decision taking place. This simplicity is typical of neoclassical painting, where clarity and structure are more important than decoration. Color also plays a role. The tones around the edges are more muted, while the center is more defined. Socrates' lighter clothing makes him stand out, and the stronger colors near the middle subtly draw attention inward. Composition, lighting, posture, and color work together to emphasize a single moment. This painting isn't really about the act of death itself, it's about conviction. Socrates isn't shown as afraid or regretful. He calmly follows through with his beliefs. That's what makes the scene powerful. It raises a question that still feels relevant today. How far would someone go to stay true to their principles? Everyone else in the room is overwhelmed by emotion. Fear, grief, and desperation fill the space. But the man about to die is the calmest person there. That contrast is what makes the image memorable. Socrates doesn't look heroic in a dramatic sense. He isn't fighting or resisting. Instead, his strength comes from consistency. He believes something and he follows it to its conclusion. That quiet certainty is what gives the painting its lasting impact. The scene also reflects a universal idea. People often talk about values and principles, but moments that truly test them are rare. This painting captures one of those moments. It shows someone choosing integrity, even when the cost is everything. More than 2,000 years later, the image still resonates. Viewers may not agree with Socrates' decision, but the clarity of his conviction is difficult to ignore. His choice feels deliberate, thoughtful, and final. The result of a lifetime spent defending the same principles. And that's why the painting continues to matter. It isn't just about a historical event. It's about the moment when ideas stop being abstract and turn into action. Socrates doesn't just talk about justice or integrity, he lives by them, even when it costs him everything. That's what gives a scene its lasting impact. It shows how powerful consistency between belief and action can be. Socrates is still reaching for the cup, not because he has no choice, but because he chooses it. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, consider leaving a like. It really helps the channel. And if you want more videos breaking down famous paintings like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Also, let me know in the comments which painting I should explain next.